Welcome to the Complete Woman Podcast, a show for women who have become overshadowed by all the titles they possess. I am your host, Coach Latoya Kight, relationship and life coach. Join me and others as we take a look into the real, raw, and uncut reality of being a woman. Superwoman, get ready to take off your cape. Hello, my loves. Hi, we are back for season 2 of the Complete Woman Podcast. Whoop, 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 whoop. Delayed but not denied. So I was supposed to start season 2 like beginning of this year or last year. I can't remember. But if most of you don't know, if some of you don't know, I was diagnosed with stage 1 cervical cancer. So that threw everything off. So I couldn't start off with season 2, but that is fine. I'm still here. I was determined to keep it up, determined to keep going. I am fine now. I have been checked out and I am still cancer free. Thank you, God. Hallelujah. Whoop, 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 whoop. God is amazing. God is great. He got me through all of that the best way he knew how. Like, I got through that and I am amazed at the results. I am amazed at how I feel and how I look right now. Even though right now at this moment it has only been a little over a month. But that is fine. You know, I don't look like it. I don't feel like it. So I thank God for that. I thank God for all of my doctors. I thank God for being able to have the provider that I have, the providing that I have to have health insurance and all that kind of stuff. I thank God for that. I thank God for my family. They were absolutely amazing through all of this, especially my husband and my children. They were absolutely amazing, and I'm so grateful to them for everything that they have done, everything they continue to do, how they have stood up for me when I didn't want to stand up for myself. I thank God for that. My mom, my siblings, all amazing. My closest friends, some of my great friends, absolutely amazing. I am so grateful. So we are here for again season 2. And if you don't know about my journey with cancer, you can go back and listen to on my YouTube channel. It won't be on the podcast, but it will be on my YouTube channel. I recorded my journey and let everyone know what was going on with me and gave some insight to cervical cancer, because a lot of things that a lot of people didn't know, a lot of things I didn't know. So I am sharing the information that I found out, things that I went through, you know, that most people don't know that cancer patients go through. I shared all of that. I tried to be as open and honest and transparent as I could. So I hope that you're able to be blessed and learn some things and have awareness brought to you in areas that you would have never even thought of. So I am using my diagnosis and everything that I went through as a testimony and to help others, you know, to bring awareness. So that's what that is. So don't want to talk too much about that. Last season was great. I thank God for a great first season of the Complete Woman Podcast. I thank God for the people that joined me on there. It's going to be some more great things for season 2. There are going to be some more great guests, some more great topics on season 2. So let's just, you know, roll with the punches, get into it. Like I say, I'm doing great now. Thank you all for your prayers and everything. I'm doing amazing now. My family is doing great. We have been doing great since the break from season 1 to now season 2. We have been doing great. Everything has been going well. And I just thank God for still being here. You know, and I hope everyone else is doing great. Everyone that's listening to me or watching me, I hope that you guys are doing great. And I hope that whatever I do in season 2 is even better than what season 1 was. And you are blessed beyond measure. So let's get into the topic of discussion today. The topic is singles. I definitely wanted to do this because I have such a heart for relationships. If you don't know as well, I am a relationship coach, and that comes from my own battles with relationships and my own issues with relationships and my own, trials and tribulations with relationships. So I have learned so much when it comes to family, friendships, love. I have gone through so much that I want to share with other people. And I'm just not a coach for married people or people that are dating. I'm here for you singles as well. And I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of wanting to know what to do. I get a lot of people that are lost and just don't know where to turn, don't know what's going on with this single life, and basically kind of looking at the single life as one for the birds. Like they're kind of over it. A lot of you guys are kind of over the single life. A lot of you guys are kind of like done with it. And some of you are kind of like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. And some of you have major hope for finding someone and being with someone for the rest of your life. And I really, truly, honestly, I think even with all that I've seen with relationships, all that I've been through with the relationships, I truly believe that there's someone out there for everyone. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that every relationship can work if you work on your issues while you're single. Don't wait till you get married. Don't wait till you start dating. Work on your stuff while you're single. Work on your stuff while you're alone. Work on your stuff while you're by yourself, and you can get into who you really are instead of you pointing the finger at someone else, instead of you saying, oh, this person did this and this person did that. This is why this didn't work. You can't control what someone else does. All you can do is control you. That's the only thing you can do. You can only change yourself. So work on you. Work on those inner things that you don't even talk about. Work on those things that's deep in you that some people don't even know about, so that you can get all of that stuff together, so that when you come into a relationship with someone, you may have some baggage, but you won't have as much, and it won't be as heavy, so that the other person won't have to feel like they're bogged down with all the stuff that you got going on. Get your stuff together. Whether you are a parent, raising your children in a single life or whatever, get your stuff together. Make sure your children are on point as well. Yes, they are children, but you can teach them some things that they have themselves together, so that when someone comes along, it's not as hard to blend the family. Because blending families can be absolutely tough. It can be tough. As much as I raised my children to be these great people and try to keep them on the straight and narrow and try to, really enforce rules and discipline with them, it still was kind of a struggle with my husband, with them, because at the end of the day, he's not their dad. So that's a little, that's going to be a struggle. There's always going to be a struggle when, you are not the actual parent to the child. So there's going to be struggles. So don't look at that as, oh, they must not be the one for me because my children don't do them. Children probably are not going to ever really like your partner too much, but if that's not their parent, it is what it is. And I will always have to encourage my husband, hey, they treat me crazy. I'm their mama. So what you think they're going to do to you when you don't have any kind of tie to them? I mean, that's just what children do. Children are selfish. Children can be mean. Children don't understand what adults understand. They can't see things from that perspective. But get your children the help that they need. Get your children therapy. Get your children a mentor. Get your children, make sure that you are spending time with them. Make sure that you are letting them understand what the process is and what's going on or whatever, because mama and daddy need love too. And we can't sit around here and not have love because our children don't understand or don't agree or don't feel it. They'll be okay. They'll come around. I promise you they will. So just let them know and understand that they're always a priority to you. Don't ever make them feel like you would choose someone else over them, because at the end of the day, your children depend on you to live. Your children depend on you to have a great life. So we can't push them to the side because we want to be loved or we want to be in a relationship. Don't do that, because at the end of the day, your children are going to be there. That person may leave tomorrow, and you want to always have a great relationship with your children no matter what. who comes, who goes, whatever. You want to always have an amazing relationship with your children despite whatever goes on outside of you. I want to say to my single ladies, I love you guys so much, but don't make it hard on yourself. Don't make it hard on the other person. First of all, be confident. Be confident in who you are. Stick to who you are. Don't change up who you are for anybody just because you want to be in a relationship. Don't change up who you are. Continue to be that person that you are, because they're going to love the authentic you. And if they don't love the authentic you, then they're not the one. It just is what it is. No matter how hard you want them to be the one, how bad you think they're cute and they fine and you want to be with them, means nothing. Just continue to be you at the end of the day, because that's who you want them to fall in love with. Same with guys. Guys, be who you are. They're either be real. Everyone tell the truth. Be honest with each other from day one, because that's, again, who they're going to fall in love with, and they can either take it or leave it. And if they choose to leave it, be okay with that. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for them not to really feel you. It's okay to not agree with some things about you. It's okay. If they're not willing to compromise on some things, then again, they may not be the one for you. It's okay. And I know it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But would you rather be with someone and have to fake who you are and have to push aside who you are just to be with them? And again, this is for my men and my women. I know at first I said for my women, but this is for my men and my women. Make sure that you're always you, no matter what. Make sure that you show, because you want to show them who you are, so they won't be somewhere and this person pops up and they're like, who the heck is that? I don't know who that is. That's not who they showed me the other day. What's going on? So you don't want that. So stick to who you are. Also to my ladies, and this can go for men too. Basically, all my points just gonna be for both of y'all. Just get it all. Do that. Rip up your list. The list of things that you have that you look for in somebody that you just feel like you just gotta have. Rip that list up. Yes, it's okay to have non-negotiables. You should have non-negotiables. Things that you will not negotiate. Things that, hey, this is where I draw the line. Point blank, period. You do this and we're done. This happens, we're done. You have those. But some of the lists that I've heard and some of the lists that I have seen, they can be very, very strict. And they have like no kind of gray area or anything. And it can come down to just like physical looks and employment, or what they drive, or where they live, and all this other kind of stuff. No, I'm not saying go get a bum off the street and just be okay with that. No, I'm not saying, oh, get the ugliest person and just, oh, be okay with that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, don't be so stuck to, oh, he gotta be 6'5", dark skin with a beard, and he have to work at he has to make 7 figures, and he has to, be on top of his game. He has to drive this and drive that or whatever. Maybe they have the employment and the income, but they don't have the house that you're saying they should live in. Maybe they are living in the house that you think they should live in, but they look like a frog. I mean, and that goes for our men too. No, she gotta be slim in the waist, cute in the face, big booties, all that kind of stuff. Or she has to have her own, and she has to do this and do that. She has to be able to cook, clean, and all that kind of stuff. And you may not find that. Nowadays these women, we out here, we independent. We not trying to clean and cook and all that kind of stuff. Some of us, like not being nasty or anything, but that's not something that we're living our everyday being. We're just cooking and cleaning. Sometimes we want to tell you, hey, you're going to have to get McDonald's today because I don't feel like cooking. Okay? And if it's for me and mine, I don't cook at all. I stopped cooking a long time ago because my children got older and I was getting older, and it was kind of like, hey, they were old enough to feed themselves, and I felt like I wanted to rest when I got home from work, or I got done with doing whatever I'm doing. I want to rest. I don't want to be in the kitchen slaving over a stove. I don't want to do that. So I stopped. Now, granted, my husband doesn't like that very much, but hey, he has to compromise. You know, either you want us or you want me to cook. And then I'm mad because I got to cook because I don't feel like cooking today. I'm just over cooking. You know, so, hey, which one you want? You want me or you want the cooking? And then you might lose out on me and the cooking because I just don't want to do it. I mean, and there's some things he doesn't want to do, and I have to just be okay with that sometimes, you know? But yeah, don't be so stuck to your list that you're like, no, you don't have that, so I can't even give you the time of day. Oh, you look like this, so I can't even have a conversation with you. Oh, you sound like this, so I'm good. Don't even talk to me. I'm good. We can't go out on a date or anything. You never know. That could be the person that you end up with for the rest of your life, and you look back like me and my husband. We look back and we just look like, how the heck did we get here? Because at first we did not. We were not on each other's radar. We did not think each other were attractive or anything. And now you can't tell me anything about that man. Understand? Huh? So yeah, I just want to tell you guys that, you know, rip up that list. You know, yes, have your non-negotiables, and make those known up front. You know, let those be known. You know, don't string anyone along and make them feel like you're gonna go along with certain things that you know that you don't like. If you don't like it, tell them you don't like it. It's okay. It's okay. Just, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. Find other things that you guys can do, other things that you guys may have in common. It's okay. I think that opposites attract work a lot, you know, when you respect what the opposite is. When I respect what is opposite about you, it works for us. You know, it works because I respect that. I may not like it or agree with it, but I respect the fact that's who you are. I respect that comes from you. You know, we're just different in that area, you know. But when it comes to important things, we're on the same page. When it comes to like finances and how do we raise our family and, you know, all this other kind of stuff, we're on the same page, you know. But when it comes to that other stuff, it's okay to let some stuff slide. We can be so anal about some stuff, and then we just lose out on the happiness of life, just period. We lose out on stuff because we can be so anal about stuff. Like, it's just really just, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. So yeah, be confident, rip up your list, compromise, all of that, and be you. Be who you are. Be the real you at all times, you know, because if you can't be honest with the person that you're with, why be with them? You know, like I say, I want to help singles. Like, I just really want to help you guys out because I truly believe that it's not as hard as we make it. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And yes, you know, some people out here living some real flawed lives, and there's some real trash people out here. Yes. And yes, it's tough to figure out who's real and who's not. Yes, I get all of that. I promise you, whenever I hear your stories, I'm like, God, please continue to keep me and my husband. Understand? Please continue to keep us, because I'm not sure if I'm able to go back out here in this dating world if that's what I got to deal with. So trust and understand, I'm not overlooking the struggle. I promise you, I get it. I get that it's a lot out here in these streets. It's a lot to deal with. But I honestly feel like that there's someone for everyone. I feel like you all can find love. I feel like you all can find happiness. First, you have to be happy with yourself. Please remember that. Be happy within first before you're trying to get with someone else. Because if you're not already happy, looking for them to make you happy, and when you realize that your happiness is not someone else's job, your life will be so much easier. I tell you what, your life will be so much easier when you learn that your happiness is based on you and not the other person. Because if that something happens with that person, you got to still have happiness. If they leave you, you got to still have happiness. You can't predicate that on what they're doing and if they're going to stay or all that kind of stuff. You can't do that. The other thing I wanted to say too, people say, you think that living together is the same thing as being married. It's not. It's not. It's totally different. I promise you, you think it's the same, but once you get married, you will see that is different. Just like being married is different from dating, because when you're dating or when you're living together or whatever, you can say, hey, I'm done, I'm gone, bounce, peace out, no strings, none of that, just go. When you're married, there's a whole different thing that comes with that. Like, I'm attached to you now, we got to sign papers out, go to court and all this kind of stuff, and that's a whole lot. Also, you have to make decisions with each other, because once you're married, your life is each other. So now you have to make decisions based on the well-being of the other person. Aside from when you were dating or just living together, when you're living together, you got to pay bills together and stuff like that. But you don't really have to that person doesn't have to worry about what decisions that you make too much so that it affects your life. It can affect your life at a certain level when you're living together or dating, but it does not affect your life as much as it will when you get married. Like, your life is basically tied to this person when you're married. So don't think, oh, we living together, it's working and we doing our thing and all this stuff, so we can just get married and it will be fine. No. And I know people are like, paper shouldn't make a difference, or a day doesn't make a difference. But if that's the case, then a lot of this paper contracts that we have, we shouldn't need, right? When you have contracts with clients and stuff like that, you shouldn't need it, right? Because paper doesn't matter. Oh, right. So that's I'm like, when people say that, I just be like, so that means that you don't have to sign a contract with anybody. When you do any kind of thing where you got to sign it, it shouldn't matter because it's paper. Same thing. So, but when you sign a contract, it changes from, oh, I just had a conversation with you about a service that I needed. Now that I am a contract with you, that's a binding agreement. So if I want to get out of this binding agreement with you, I have to go through the hoops to get it done. I got to go through lawyers and courts or whatever I got to go through to get it done if I want to separate this binding agreement. If I sign a contract, now whatever you do with your business for me or what I do with my business with you, it affects your life. So please don't think that it's the same thing, because it's not. And the other thing I want to say, too, about this whole thing, this whole theory of you got to test drive before you get with somebody. You got to know what they packing. You got to know what their sex game is like and all that kind of stuff. You got to know that kind of stuff. Listen to me. If you want to just be out here having sex and things, just say that. Don't say, oh, I need a test drive to find out. So what you're saying is, whatever happens in the bedroom affects the fact that you love this person. If your love can be swayed by someone's sex game, then it wasn't love for real. Because if you really know anything about sex, you can teach the other person what you want done. You can show the other person what you want done. You just have to be honest about what you want. Because sometimes they could be on board. Sometimes we think that the other person is not going to agree with what we want. Or they're going to look at us crazy, or they're not going to feel it or whatever. But you never know until you open your mouth. You never know what the other person is capable of or are willing to do. You never know. But if you don't tell them, they're going to continue to do what they're doing. And then you're going to be like, this is trash. This is not good, or whatever. So you have missed out on the greatest love of your life because you feel like, oh, their sex game is trash. again, that means that the love wasn't real if you're basing it off of sex. Because let me tell you something. Yes, sex is a big factor in marriage. Yes, it is. It's a big factor. But it should not be the factor. It should not be the factor, because just think about it. If they have a great sex game, what if something happens? Case in point, I've had cervical cancer. So, of course, that has affected my sex life. It wasn't a choice of me or my husband. So if it was based off of sex, we probably wouldn't be doing well right now. Me having cancer has actually brought us closer together. But if we would have based it off of sex, our relationship would have been based off of sex, or that would have been such a big part of our relationship, then right now we would be suffering, because no, that is what, I basically expect from you, because it's been what I've been having. So now to not have it, it sucks. And again, hey, listen. One thing about your girl, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I promise you, sex, it does suck to not have it, but because we love each other so much, we look beyond that. We can't base our relationship just off of that. That's why I'm glad that we had this tight relationship, that we were basically friends first. And that's why I want to tell you, especially the guys, if she says she friend zones you, don't give up. Because the greatest relationships start off as friends. The greatest ones. Me and my husband were friends first. And so we're still friends now when you take away stuff like sex and other things like that. We're great. It's fine. So you can't just base it off of that. That can't be such a big part of why you're with somebody, that you miss out on the person. You miss out on the greatness of that person. You miss out on the greatness of the relationship. And then if you're always test driving, how many test drives you gonna do? Now, I don't know. I'm real old school. I just feel like once you get so many partners, it's just too much. I mean, now, if you okay with that, that's your life. That's your business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just saying, for me, I don't think that I should just be opening my legs all the time to people, or just having so many people run through me or whatever, and then I don't really have anything to show for it. And I'm just out here just doing my thing. Yeah, no, that gets old. I promise you that gets old. You want to be with someone for the rest of your life, this one person that you will be with and build a life with, so just think about that. When we, I hear saying stuff like that, like, I got to test drive, I got to see what it's about, I can't get into it, and if it's not good. And then in some of them, you got with them and he good or she good, and then something happens to the relationship because they weren't a great person. They had a great sex game, but they weren't a great person. So you had great sex, but a horrible relationship. Which one you think you're going to be crying over? You think you're going to be crying over the relationship or the sex? You're going to be crying over the relationship, because you get sex anywhere. You're going to be crying over the relationship ending and the relationship not being great. So keep that in mind, please. And again, like I said, I really want to help singles. So you guys reach out to me. Reach out to me for help, coaching, or anything, any type of assistance with that. Please reach out to me, because I really, really want to help you guys. I really don't like that it's so many single people. I really don't like that. I really don't. So that is all I have today. Again, this is season 2 of the Complete Woman podcast. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being a part. And I will be uploading every week to YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as to my podcast on podcast platforms. So I will be uploading every week for that. And yeah, just stay tuned to what I got going on. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of the Complete Woman. I really, really appreciate it. Goodbye, my loves. Thanks for joining the Complete Woman podcast. I pray this was life-changing and that it empowered you. Connect with me on Instagram and Facebook, Latoya Kight. If you will want to hear a certain topic or you would like to be a guest, email us at thecompletewoman19@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to the podcast on all podcast platforms, also on YouTube. Let's chat soon.